a lesson from the nativity saint called Saint Joseph. Saint Joseph the Carpenter. I would like to take some virtues from his life for us. So actually I'm going to focus on only two virtues very quickly, and we will move on. These two virtues, it will help us in our service. What do you think about receiving or hosting a high-profile guest? The first thing came to my mind back then, 8 years ago. We had lots of many meetings, clergy level side, thinking and arranging for the visit of His Holiness Pope Dawoud, and what we should do and how it goes. Going to the details, like the cars he's going to use, if we have to call RCMP, all of this, because we have a special gift, special guest. Pope Dawoud is coming to visit Canada for the very first time after being Pope. Imagine Prince George visiting by himself, coming from England and visiting Canada. What arrangements the government has to arrange, make sure that he is safe, and they're going to choose as a bodyguard for him, and to be sure that he is safe, everything. All his schedule is well known ahead of time, and where he's going to go, so just to protect him, because he will be responsible. What they're going to say to Prince William when they go back with him. So all of this has to be in our mind. So please share your thoughts and tell me if we apply this to Saint Joseph. What's your thoughts? In a very different way. Do you think that Saint Joseph fulfilled the perfect bodyguard, the perfect protector for baby Jesus?
No.
Was he the perfect person to choose? I want Saint Joseph, he's a perfect. I feel comfortable to be in his hand, safe, baby Jesus, safe in Saint Joseph.
Different way. I think it is a different way also. If you just think in just with our mentality, we think if you need a bodyguard or someone to give a security to baby Jesus and Saint Mary, choose maybe someone to be young with more like body building or whatever, but he chose a very old guy. Okay, no one can think it will be a good protector, but I think that God, he was seeing something inside him. He saw his purity, he saw that he was not going for any desires towards Saint Mary, even he didn't touch her, he was taking care of her from day one as a father. It's not like that he will be a husband for her, so he was so keen because God sees a heart, and this is, I think, this is what mentioned the verse, اختار الله ضعفاء العالم يغزوهم الأقوياء, يعني, yeah, I think so. This way, so different.
Person to be hired to take care of baby Jesus, correct? We all agree with this. But still, God chose him to take care of baby Jesus. And we're talking about taking care of him, basic life. Like he passed away when Jesus was 16 years old. So basically, this is very important. This time is very important until he's 16, until he is on his own kind of thing, baby Jesus. So this time was very critical. That's why he chose. So he chose Saint Joseph. Why he chose Saint Joseph? And why do you think that he is a great example of servants and we want to learn from him? Forgiveness and keeping secrets. We can read in Matthew 1:19, then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not wanting to make her public example, was minded to put her away secretly. Matthew 1:19. Forgiveness is very, very key word for the servants, for a servants. You're dealing with those who you serve, kids, youth, older. I need to have this forgiveness virtue in the service. So he had this. It's a great virtue, by the way. Would you need it in the service? Definitely. You need it with the service, dealing with the young ones. Forgiveness. Dealing with their parents. Forgiveness. Sometimes you hear something and you can let it go. Forgiveness. You deal with this. This is very important. Forgiveness here is based on assumption. So he assumed that she's a virgin and they give it to me. They give it to me. So now I can see her bearing a child. So what's happened? So he assumed that there was a relationship. That's why he, based on this assumption, he took the forgiveness first, and he chose to take that action to let her go secretly. Assumption, based on assumption. In the service, it's different. Like this is, it's kind of logic. But our assumption now is totally different. His assumption is logic, of course. How come? She's bearing a child, that means a relationship happened. That's assumption, that's normal. So we can, at any ways, compare our assumption in the service right now compared to him. No, it's a different area. Do you get my point? This is logic, but our assumption now, if it happened now, that I assume that he is giving me this reaction, that means he has something in his background, or she's giving me this, or they're trying to do this. That's all my assumption in my mind based on my experience. That's it. It's not will be equal at any points to his assumption, which was logic assumption as a human, especially this is the first in the history. So it didn't happen before. It didn't ever happen before. So as a servant, this is the lesson number one. As a servant, we will not reach the forgiveness level unless I try to tolerate the kid. This kid who's giving me a hard time, or the user, or whatever, who is already suffering, and that's why he is acting like that. So I want to go beyond this, beyond the forgiveness, or before the forgiveness. Try first to know why this kid is acting like this. If you're serving the little angels, or you're serving the little kids, why he's acting like this? So number one, we need to tolerate him, his action, her action. If I can tolerate his or her action, then I can promote to the higher level, which is forgiveness. You can't just jump to the forgiveness. You can't just skip some steps. You go to tolerate others first, and then you can see the higher level, which is the forgiveness. Keeping secrets. That's why I put forgiveness / keeping secrets. In the service, we're exposed to so many secrets. We need to keep secrets. Was it in St. Joseph? Was it? Did we see it? Where? Tell me from the verse. Secretly. He didn't go after and say, even talk after the fact that, you know what, just assume that it never happened. And then comes after that, you know, Mary, whom they gave it to me? No. Why she's only with me now? I let her go. أصل حصل كذا كذا. It's just happened like this. And he started to tell the story over again. No, it doesn't go this way. When you keep a secret, you keep a secret because you are already exposed for this just because you're a servant. I'm exposed for so many secrets inside houses. I'm exposed for so many background that the little kid opened his heart, which is very precious, and he's telling me secrets. keeping the secrets. Keeping the secrets is very important. So forgiveness / keeping the secrets was the first virtue and affecting me as a servant. That's number one. Quick in responding with wisdom. Quick in responding with wisdom. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night, and departed. See underline by night, and departed for Egypt. Matthew 2:14. That's going to Egypt. Coming from Egypt, then he arose, took the young child and his mother, and came into the land of Israel. Matthew 2:21. And we'll see the difference between these two. Sometimes we need to be quick in responding. Right away. Sometimes it's urgent, sometimes it's emergency, and we're all trying our best to do this. If it's emergency, if it's urgent, I need it right away. Sometimes it's not urgent, sometimes it's urgent. The most important thing, if I am ready to respond right away, this is very important in the service as well, because we don't know what's the alternative. If he's trying to reach me out, and I didn't respond right away, that's something for me. I don't know what's the alternative, but it comes in his or her mind. Quick in responding. With wisdom. What does it mean with wisdom? With wisdom, we see it in St. Joseph from the first verse and from the second verse as well. From the very first verse, by night. Or someone can, if you can get it, can you explain to me? What is the wisdom here? First and second verse. I already give it away.
To avoid the guards, so flying at night, to be under the cover of darkness, so nobody can see them. So that's a wise action, because soldiers are looking for Jesus.
Thank you, Moses. By night, I'm in danger here, and I can't predict what King Herod will do. By night, there is no chance. That's not my life, it's the kid's life, it's the baby's life. I don't risk it. Go now, by night, in the middle of the night, just right after I saw a vision. Go out. How about us coming from Egypt? Did it mention here by night? No. Is there an emergency here? Is there an urgent here? There is no. Someone died. Khalas. Take your time. Wake up in the morning, 7 a.m., 10 a.m., doesn't matter, and then you can leave faster. Wisdom. I go now, I have to go now.
And obedience too, I don't know if obedience was a key factor here at Sabuna. يعني obedience بتاع St. Joseph was like he didn't argue. Well, it's a long way, can we go somewhere else? Like maybe Egypt is too long.
Yeah.
He obeyed without question.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to add something else. I was thinking, it's related to the first point that you raised, Sabuna, when we said that he chose St. Joseph. He's an old guy, he's an old man. I was thinking, me myself, I'm just in 40s and I felt it's so hard. Okay, if I wanted to travel with driving a car night time, stay awake. And their ways, you just go to travel, riding on a donkey or whatever. So it's very hard for an old guy, and as Otto said, he just obeyed right away. The angel ordered him, so he right away, and he is old. It's not easy for him to travel all the night, wake up, okay, and the way it's not easy, and the way to travel, it's not convenient as we are now, so it's amazing, honestly.
St. Joseph died with Jesus, that was after 16 years old, so he died at 111.
Yeah, very old. Wow.
So taking St. Mary was 95 years old. So going to Egypt, I assume that was between 96 and 97 years old. 96, 97 years old, thinking about that, and by night, just right away. Sometimes we take our time before coming to this, taking our time, waking up, taking our time before we go to school, taking our time before we go to work. 100% obedience in everything, I see responsibility. Hiring bodyguards and slacking off is better, or hiring 95 years old and has this sense of responsibility or obedience or caring to the child, to the baby. This is another lesson we learn from St. Joseph. Okay. Blessing of serving Jesus. Let's see what's the blessing St. Joseph got to serve Jesus. Any volunteer to read it?
Now the birth of Jesus Christ was as follows. After his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not wanting to make her a public example, was minded to put her away secretly. But while he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife. For that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit, and she will bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. So all this was done, that it may be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, Behold, the virgin shall be with child, and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which is translated God with us. Then Joseph, being aroused from sleep, did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took to him his wife.
They had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, flee to Egypt, and stay there until I bring you word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed for Egypt.
Now when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel. For those who sought the young child's life are dead. Then he arose, took the young child and his mother, and came to the land of Israel.
But when he heard that Archelaus was ruling over Judea instead of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there, and being warned by God in a dream, he turned aside into the region of Galilee, and he came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophets, he shall be called a Nazarene.
What was the title? The third point, the blessing of serving Jesus. What's the blessing here?
Being with Jesus himself. What is the best?
السؤال للطالب
Feel special that we are standing by the altar and I can talk to God himself.
Yeah.
That's so special. Face to face, looking to his face in the scenario. That's God. So number one, being with Jesus, that's number one. Did he have any chance in the past to saw all of this vision? As if the angel is next to him. Don't worry, take care, don't worry. Yalla بسرعة, go to Egypt. No, he died. Come from Egypt. No, don't go to this, but go to Nazareth. He's next room. The angel is next room. And sometimes he say, he warned by God. He warned by God. God said him. So number one, what a blessing to serve Jesus. Do I feel that as a servant, that I am serving Jesus, I am connecting with him that close? Blessing of serving Jesus. We're not seeking visions, we're not seeking miracles, we're not seeking this. We are serving Jesus. Do we feel this? What was number one? Virtue in St. Joseph.
Forgiveness and keeping secrets.
Number two?
Keeping secrets.
Quick response and was wisdom. And number three, the blessing of serving Jesus, to whom is glory forever and ever. Amen. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to all of you.
To you, happy birthday.